Hey everyone, Brian Messick here, voice actor for Seven Lamb Productions. I play Arthur Phelps in Seven Lamb Productions' spoof film noir series Atlas Avenue Beat. If you're looking for a funny action comedy, look no further because Atlas Avenue Beat has it all. Goofy characters, intricate cases, and the best sleuthing this side of the Mississippi. You can find this podcast at sevenlamb.com or search for Atlas Avenue Beat wherever you listen to podcasts.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another fascinating episode of Will There Be Cake? My name is Robert Lamb. With me, as always, Amber Simpson.
Hey.
Hey. And with us, joining us again on this fantastic journey we're about to embark on, the elf man himself, Ian Feller. How's it going?
It's great, guys. Thank you for having me part of the fellowship again.
Yeah, of course. Yes. We're glad you can be a part of this.
I feel like I haven't been here since yesterday. Thank you.
Well, all I can say is, sorry, man. Sorry.
Good one.
Saruman.
Saruman.
Oh, wow. Sorry about that, guys. Anyways, what day are we celebrating like we didn't give a bunch of hints just then?
We are celebrating Tolkien Reading Day.
Yay.
Wow. Now, we celebrated Hobbit Day, and you were on that episode.
I was on that episode, yes.
And that was all about the Hobbit.
We didn't even plan that.
I'm a fan.
Yeah, that was weird. That's weird that you decided to come back on the podcast around the same time as...
I remembered. You guys obviously did.
I didn't remember.
But you didn't know we were doing this day today.
Sure,
so.
I did. Yeah.
He knew. He's a huge fan of Tolkien.
Huge. And a huge fan of Seven Lamb Productions.
And Seven Lamb Productions. His two favorite things in life are Tolkien, J.R.R. Tolkien, and Seven Lamb Productions.
Robert Lamb.
M. Lamb. Robert M. Lamb. It's funny because like George R.R. Martin, too, is... Yeah. What's with all the RRs?
You just got to add extra names.
What's with those RRs?
You'll be doing it soon.
Nah, I don't have a second middle name.
You don't need one. Just make it up.
MM. Robert M. Lamb. That's
MM,
too hard to say. It's like a stutter.
So what are some Tolkien books?
The Hobbit.
Lord of the Rings.
Fellowship of the Rings.
Fellowship, Two Towers, Return of the King.
Okay.
And then his
Those are the only ones I know
appendices,
about.
like all his... Yeah. I think he had some other, like, about Middle-earth books.
There's another one, too. I can't think of that.
There's a book of poems called The Adventures of Tom Bombardle.
Okay.
It came out in 1962. It has some
now,
of
you
the
read that one, right?
Lord of the Rings characters.
No, I never read that.
There's another one.
There's a...
Semelian?
The Cimmerian, I don't know.
I can't remember what it's called.
But that takes place in Middle-earth, too, right?
I think so, yes.
Yeah. So... I never read the books. I read The Hobbit, the book.
I never read
the book. I bought the books recently, but I haven't read them yet.
Well, now today's the day to start.
I know.
Do you think the books are better than the movies?
Much better.
Really?
Yeah.
Do they leave? They have to leave shit out.
Yeah.
Right?
They left tons of stuff out.
But
those movies would have been 6
so
hours
long.
7 hours long each.
Yeah,
but
I feel
the extended.
Like
have you watched the extended editions? Are they better, closer to the books?
I haven't watched those.
I will say if you watch
complete sections of the books
that are completely different. Yeah,
because they're kind of. For the story, like the movie story, they're kind of unnecessary.
But that's the thing is when you make a movie out of a book, you can't always have like what the people are thinking and all that kind of stuff.
Well, there's just like scenes like where they meet other characters
and
other
and
adventures along their way that don't really have much to do with the end story.
Right.
So they don't, like cutting them out, they were fine.
I will say that the extended versions of the Lord of the Rings movies I do like a lot more.
I haven't watched the extended, but Adam's been trying to get me to watch them, and
they're
we'll do
super
it someday,
long.
But yeah,
and
he said they had them in theaters, I guess.
Yeah, I think they brought it back.
Yeah,
so.
And you could watch all of them. Like some theaters, you could watch them all back
but
to back, and it was like a 3-day thing.
Right.
Because I think the Fellowship ends up being 3 hours and 30 minutes, and then I think Two Towers ends up being like 3:40, and then I think Return of the King is almost 4 hours.
Yeah, that's crazy.
With the extended. But I do like most of the stuff. It actually makes sense because some of the things that they took out, like when they put them back in, like the deleted scenes and stuff like that, into the extended version, it actually makes more sense for the story. But it drags in some parts because it's a lot.
Well, reading the books is not much different than that. It's
I'm sure.
a lot. It's very
his
heavy.
writing style is very...
It's very heavy and very long-winded. And
like The Hobbit.
The language is
I was gonna say,
like
the
kind of
language.
old English-ish.
The first 2 pages of The Hobbit, I think he just describes the hill.
Yeah.
I'm just like, God, I'm in this one. This is going to be a long
It's a commitment.
haul.
It's a commitment,
haul.
but once you do it, like, you just never forget it. It's definitely a great experience.
Nah, I'm sure that they're good, and I've always heard about it. I always wanted to read them. I just never got around to it, so I'm going to.
I mean, these are the books that started like this whole fantasy thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Like there would not be, a million fantasy stories and movies and TV shows and video games if there wasn't these books.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Do you know why today is Tolkien Reading Day?
It's the first day that The Hobbit was released?
Nope. It marks the date of Sauron's defeat.
Really?
Yep.
Huh.
Interesting.
That is interesting. I
They
didn't
had
realize
a-
there were dates.
I was going to say,
I
were
don't
they
remember that.
Me neither.
Did they have like a regular 365, 24-hour
I guess, yeah.
days? Like,
Huh.
that's weird.
It is weird. But it was the Tolkien Society is a thing, established Tolkien Reading Day in 2003 after Sean Kirst, a newspaper columnist in Syracuse, New York, suggested the holiday. The purpose of the observance is to honor the vast literary work of J.R.R. Tolkien, John Ronald Reuel,
Rule?
R-E-U-E-L, Reuel.
R-E-U-E-L?
Yeah.
Weird. Huh.
So,
Why is it honoring him? What did he do?
J.R.R. Tolkien?
No, Rule.
No, that's his name.
That's his middle name.
That's what
Oh, wait.
J.R.R. stands for.
Wait, say that again?
John Ronald Reuel Tolkien.
Ronald
I thought
Rule.
you just said John Rule. I was like, who
John
is
Ronald
Rule?
Rule.
Ronald Rule.
Ronald Rule.
Oh, Ron John.
And no wonder why he went with R.R.
Yeah. Nobody wants to say all that.
That's a lot.
But his popularity grew to cult status even before his death in 1973. The Tolkienist fanatic subculture emerged in the U.S. in the 60s as the popularity of Lord of the Rings catapulted following its publication between 1954 and 1955. The first fan club was called the Fellowship of the Ring. It met for the first time at Worldcon, the World Science Fiction Convention, in 1960. But like you said, it influenced many authors in the high fantasy genre, and it also inspired modern-day pulp culture elements such as games, board games, video games, card games, music, action figures, jewelry, clothing, and even fonts you can use in your own writing.
That's really neat.
It's a lot.
I'll always remember renting...
The
I think it
Elven
was-
Common Speak font.
I always remember renting the cartoon version from the
Yeah.
library when my
Yep.
dad would bring me
Yep.
to the library. That was like The Hobbit, and then I think they had a Lord of the Rings
I think
cartoon also. I don't remember, but I know the
Probably
Hobbit.
the
for
Hobbit.
sure.
I remember the Hobbit. I think there was a Lord of the Rings.
I think
too.
there was a
Yeah.
cartoon one, but it came out later.
Was it? Who's the guy that the animator? Bakshi? Phil? Famous guy from back then.
Yeah, I don't remember. I just remember. I think I remember the cover or something like that with Gandalf on it and stuff. But maybe that was just the Hobbit. I don't know.
It was the Hobbit. Definitely the Hobbit.
The Hobbit, I remember for sure because I remember he was like.
Remember, it was on TV back in the day. Yeah.
I remember getting it from the library for some reason.
I just
don't know why.
rewatched all the Lord of the Rings recently because they re-released them in theaters recently.
Nice.
Oh
They
yeah,
did.
but that was the theatrical cuts.
Yes, it was the theatrical, not the extended cuts.
Right.
But
I
it
was
had been a really long time since I watched them, and I went to my old theater and watched them in IMAX.
The thing that I always thought, my favorite part, like the thing I thought was the coolest about these books, was that they had the maps in them,
Yeah.
and you could like really like follow along on their journey,
pretty
like
cool.
it was real, like it was a real place, and it made
Yeah,
it
didn't
seem
he
like you could be
write-
part of it.
Didn't he write like all Elvish language? Like he created the language and
Yeah,
stuff. Like
yeah.
that's crazy.
That is crazy.
That's dedication there.
That is
I would
no.
just write some gibberish and be like, just deal with it.
Right.
Like, no one's gonna know.
And we've all read some of your, or listened to some
oh,
of your gibberish.
yeah, of course. Like I'm not going that far into it.
Robert, write your own language for something.
Nah.
Okay. So The Hobbit was came out in 1937, and that was a children's book, fantasy novel.
The other ones came out in the 40s.
54 to 55 was Lord of the Rings. It was the best-selling book of all time with over 150 million copies sold.
That's incredible.
1962 was The Adventures of Tom Bombardle, which I already told you about, the 16 poems he wrote, including characters from The Lord of the Rings. And in 1983 was The History of Middle-earth, a 12-volume series of books that was published between 83 and 96, presenting Tolkien's development of the Middle-earth over time.
Wow.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
It's like this guy's whole life was creating this
world.
That's what I'm saying.
and it's
that.
like insane that it like is actually so popular.
Yeah,
so,
what if
like,
it wasn't?
People want to live there and like be there, right?
What if it wasn't? Then he just like wasted his life.
Yeah, right? That was
Writing.
sucked.
Like, what if nobody read them or only a few people did? Like,
Then he's not.
He didn't
like,
even
nothing.
live long enough to see how fucking huge
he
it
didn't.
got.
He really didn't. No,
No.
he didn't even get it.
That's crazy.
Poor guy.
That's
But
too bad.
whatever. He
I
lives
think
in
Peter
infamy.
Jackson did a good job though of like bringing it to life. Like,
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
because not only were they like super popular, they were nominated for all
Super
Academy
popular.
Awards, and like he won it. Now Return of the King has 11 Academy Awards and tied with Titanic and Ben-Hur as
Wow.
the most ever
Wow.
wins for Academy Awards.
That's crazy.
Yeah, he did a good job.
So there's not to promote other podcasts, but there's a lot of Tolkien lover podcasts. There's one called That's What I'm Tolkien About,
Nice,
Tea with Tolkien, and The Tolkien Road.
Wow.
nice.
But
I saw
yeah.
that meme when Black Panther came out, and Martin Freeman was in it, and Andy Serkis was in it, and they were like in the poster, and they're the only two white guys, and then everybody said that those were the Tolkien white guys because they're from Tolkien.
I love that.
Yeah. I thought that was pretty good. Did you? Okay, really quick. The Hobbit movies. Did you watch all those?
Yes.
All three of
Yeah.
those.
Yes.
Did you like the? I didn't really care for those. That
They
much.
were not. They seemed like they were just like an
They were
afterthought.
okay.
Cash grab, kind
yeah.
of like it was weird.
They
I
could have
didn't
done
hate
one
them.
movie. Why was there three?
I was going to say, I
Yeah.
kind of
They
like the
did
first
three
one.
books and three movies, and then they did one book and three movies.
That's what was weird. It's like if you're gonna do that, they could have extended the Lord of the Rings
they
story.
could have made those like 9 movies.
Yeah.
If they really wanted to.
Because it was a
Had
kid's
plenty of
book. They had to
material.
try and make it more.
They should have made The Hobbit either. I would say at the most 2 2-hour movies or 1 3-hour movie.
1 3-hour
just
movie.
1 3-hour
Could
movie.
have told the whole
That's all
story.
they need.
Yeah, it was kind of. I know they added some of the appendices stuff like in there, like other story elements, but it still wasn't enough to
Yeah.
sustain.
Didn't need it.
And the problem with The Hobbit, I think, as turning it into a movie is like he's with all those dwarves, and they're all like. They really don't have much of a personality. Each one. There's just 12 of them,
Yeah,
and the only one
it's
that
too many.
matters is the lead, the king one, and I'm just like Thoron or whatever his name was, and the other ones don't matter. They didn't even matter in the book. I just
No.
remember I was just like, oh, this one and this one.
Yeah.
Cool.
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 All right.
Cool. So I have some literary contributions by Tolkien.
Okay.
After World War I, he worked at the Oxford English Dictionary, where he wrote about things such as the history of etymology, of Germanic words. It's a hard word for me to say. Starting with the letter W, specifically waggle and warlock.
Oh, okay.
In 1920, he joined the University of Leeds as a reader in English language, becoming a full professor only a couple of years later.
Okay.
He published a compilation of numerous letters. His letters were published. He wrote to his children from 1920 to 1943 from Father Christmas as Santa Claus. They published these letters he wrote to his kids.
Interesting.
That's weird.
It is.
There's also a collection of his work that was compiled by his son, Christopher Tolkien, in 1977, and he published that and received a Locus Award for Best Fantasy Novel in 1978. And he wrote his translation of the epic poem Beowulf from 1920 to 1926, and decades later his son, Christopher, edited it and published it in 2014. And his son's really making a lot of money off of his dad right now.
Sure.
There's a newish movie called Tolkien, isn't there? It's about him
Yeah,
and his life,
with
his life story.
with that one kid. I heard it wasn't that great though.
No,
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
I
feel
think it's
we
like
would've
him
heard more
during
about
World
it.
War One or something like that. Like, I think he fought in World War One. I don't remember.
Sure, I don't know.
I think he fought in World War One or something like that, and like it takes you through like where he kind of came up with some of the ideas and stuff. But I didn't see
I
it.
think I have it recorded, and I just haven't had
Yeah.
a chance to watch it.
Yeah, I haven't watched it. I forget who the main character is. It's not Nicholas Holt. Maybe it is Nicholas Holt. It's the kid from Mad Max Fury Road, I think.
Oh,
I think that is Nicholas Holt. The bad guy who turns good later. Yeah, I just heard it wasn't that great. I think it was like an Academy Award type, like an Oscar grab type movie, and it just didn't land.
Grab anything.
Yeah, it didn't land. I get these ads because I've been buying books recently for Easton Press, which is like they like sell these books. They like put them together with like gold binding and like spend a lot of money. They showed like the Tolkien's Classics one like popped up, but it's $395.
What the fuck? How many
and
books
you can do
is it?
5 monthly installments of $79. But they're crazy like good like artwork inside, but they're like it's just
It's only
I think
5 books?
It's 5 books. It's the Hobbit, the Lord of the Rings ones, and then I think the hold on. Silmarillion.
So it's like it's $25 a book. I guess that's not bad.
Well, no, I guess that. Yeah, no, $400. Yeah.
Oh, $400?
$400 for all of them.
Oh, $125. Jesus.
Yeah, it's cool though.
Installments.
I want the 1984 one, but it's also like $300 just for that one book.
Why are some of them so cheap and they're so expensive?
I don't know. I think it has to do with like the artwork that they get in them and stuff. But they do like gold page lining and then like
but you have some of those that are like
stitched.
$25, right?
Yeah, those are from Barnes and Noble, the collectible editions.
They're just different.
Those are like $25 each, but they're not like.
It's not real gold.
Real gold. Yeah. They're just like spray painted on. Yeah. And they just hope the pages don't stick.
Nice.
Yeah.
So this holiday also has a theme every year, and this year the theme is hope and courage. And the Tolkien Society is teaming up with the Center for Fantasy and the Fantastic at the University of Glasgow to host and celebrate the event.
Cool. Nice.
So
let's go there.
They're free to attend if you can go, but they're doing a lot of like Zoom stuff,
of course.
And this year, because
COVID. It's everything.
Yeah. So yeah.
Middle Earth didn't have COVID.
You don't know that.
Yeah, maybe it did.
That was the fifth. That's why the fifth book didn't come out.
It would have been boring to read. Everyone's just sick.
Yeah.
Yep.
How do we celebrate?
Read the books.
Read the books.
You gonna read them again?
Join those.
Maybe.
Tolkien
Would
Day
you ever read
events.
them again?
I probably would.
Yeah.
I'm gonna watch the movie. I know it's read Tolkien, but I'm just gonna watch the movies.
You know what you should
I just
do?
watched the movies, but maybe I'll watch the Hobbit ones.
Just put on subtitles. That's kind of like reading.
Kinda
right?
It's kind of like reading. Right?
That's like reading Tolkien.
I like to when I rewatch movies. I like to put subtitles on anyway.
I put subtitles on like all my movies now because I think I'm getting hard of hearing and
Yeah.
and I feel like if I miss something, I don't want to rewind.
Sometimes
so I'd rather just read it.
It distracts me though. That's why I try and do it both ways. If it's a good enough movie.
I do it the second time. If I really like the movie, I'll go back and watch it. I'm like,
Without
I
the
learned.
subtitles.
Yeah, I learned it.
So you do the
I don't
opposite
need to-
way I do.
Yeah.
Love that.
Do we have a cake?
Yeah, for sure. There's definitely some.
I think
Lord
there's
of
got to
the
be a
Rings
cake
cakes out there.
shaped like a dragon.
A dragon.
Ooh,
shaped
yeah.
like Smaug.
Smaug.
Schmaug.
Schmaug.
Or maybe the eye of Sauron.
Ooh. Or just a ring.
Or ring.
Yeah,
cake.
just get an angel food cake with
with
the hole in the
This is
center
my
and be like, hey,
precious.
everyone, look.
This is my precious.
Yeah, everyone like it? Cool.
Don't touch it.
There you
it's
go.
my
Look
precious.
at this cake. You guys can't see it on the podcast, but it's the cake shaped with shaped like a book, and it says Lord of the Rings on it. It has a little ring and a little schmeagle.
Oh, that would be cool too.
Right?
That's a lot of work.
Oh, that's a good looking cake.
That's
All right,
a lot of
it's
work
a good looking cake. Let's make it.
is.
And we're celebrating
There's
the
so
death
many.
of Sauron.
Yeah, well, it's when
The
the ring
defeat.
broke. It's
Okay.
like the end.
So the volcano or whatever.
Ooh, here's an eye one.
That was pretty good too.
It's a good eye.
Oh, that's an awesome one.
You guys should Google Lord of the Rings cakes because there's so many good ones.
That's a good one. Oh, wow.
Nice.
Oh, wow.
All right.
As long as
Well,
yeah, that's a good one.
yeah, we're gonna go get a book. We'll probably, I say, we just alternate reading a page each. I'll do a page.
Oh, yeah,
you
we'll do like a
page.
group reading.
I like
Yeah,
it.
and we'll
Let's do
eat
it.
cake while we do it, and you guys should too because you got to celebrate Tolkien
Yeah,
and all of his fantastic fantasy storytelling.
for sure.
Awesome. Well, thanks for joining us again for another
Thanks,
Tolkien Day.
Ian.
Ian.
My pleasure, guys. Thank you for having me. I'm happy to be part of the fellowship.
Of course, we'll let you know when we
The
do
fellowship.
Two Towers Day or King Day or whatever.
I see what you did there.
For Amber, for myself, that does it for this episode. We'll see you guys tomorrow.
Bye.
Bye.
This has been a Seven Lamb production.